Hello, my name is Agostina, and along with Dr. VOLIJ and Dr. DISCACCIATI, we are family physicians and researchers at the Hospital Italiano of Buenos Aires, Argentina. We have conducted this research on how our institution addresses consultations regarding domestic violence. We want to highlight that our analysis is grounded in a gender's perspective. According to the WHO reports, gender-based violence affects 1 in 3 women globally, with current or former partners being the main perpetrators. The symptoms associated with this violence are a common reason for women to seek medical care, accounting for about 20% of consultations. However, detection rates by healthcare professionals remain very low. In Argentina, we do have a robust legal framework protecting against such violence. Nevertheless, a 2022 survey found that nearly 1 in 2 women in our country experiences this type of violence at some point in their lives. With this context in mind, we conducted research to understand how the healthcare team at our institution addresses domestic violence cases. To achieve this, we conducted a qualitative investigation using an intrinsic case study methodology within our institution, which is a private university hospital of high complexity in Argentina's capital. We triangulated 3 different sources of information to ensure a comprehensive analysis: the electronic medical records, interviews, and institutional protocols. We started by reviewing medical records from the second half of 2022 to find cases of domestic violence. After identifying these cases, we conducted a longitudinal follow-up by analyzing each patient's complete medical history and mapping their care pathways. We also identified the physicians involved in the care of these patients and interviewed them. Additionally, we conducted interviews with key informants and other professionals using a snowball sampling method until reaching theoretical saturation. All interviews were recorded, transcribed, and coded. Finally, we searched for institutional protocols regarding these situations on the hospital's website and analyzed them according to our country's legal standards. With these 3 sources of information, we held periodic meetings with the research team to identify categories, create conceptual maps, and synthesize all the information. From our review of medical histories, we identified and included 15 cases of domestic violence. Most were scheduled consultations by family physicians, where the main documented behaviors included listening support and follow-up, as well as referral to mental health services. It's noteworthy that all physicians who documented information were women. We also observed that most of the women had multiple previous consultations related to violence, but these were generally recorded under other issues, such as health checkups. In relation to the interviews, in total, we talked with 35 professionals from our institution. Most, again, were women family doctors chosen for their clinical roles. We also interviewed area coordinators, hospital directors, ethics committee members, and lawyers from the hospital. Finally, we identified 3 key documents on the institution's website: a hospital care guide, a manual of standards and procedures, and a program addressing violent situations involving hospital staff. From our body of evidence, we identified these 6 main categories: the relevance of the problem and how its significance changes based on the effectors, the importance of contextual influence, and how personal experiences relate to the relevance and approach to the problem, as well as the training received, the unawareness of limited internal regulations, limited institutional resources, which are mainly focused on addressing physical and sexual injuries in emergency care, the lack of training reported by professionals themselves, and the perceived roles and responsibilities. Most perceive mental health professionals as key players, although they do not see themselves as such. In conclusion, there is a significant underreporting of domestic violence situations within our institution. While professionals recognize the relevance of this issue, they lack adequate training and are unaware of the limited institutional resources available. The role of gender in our approach is critical, shaping how domestic violence is perceived and addressed, and influencing the support provided to victims. Although the institution is open to addressing the problem when it is seen as necessary, the current lack of prioritization results in inadequate responses and missed opportunities for intervention. Integrating and training on normative frameworks and protocols into professional development is essential. This will not only improve skills, but also promote a culture of awareness and sensitivity towards domestic violence. Furthermore, proper documentation and ongoing research are crucial for advocating for the resources needed to enhance patient care. By prioritizing this issue and building institutional capacity, we can better support victims of domestic violence and drive systemic changes within our institution. Thank you all for listening. There you have all the bibliography used for this presentation, as well as my email contact. Greetings from Argentina.